This video is about the comparative essay for the AP World History exam, and we're going to do it on the Aztec and Inca. So a question might be like, analyze the similarities and differences, and how the Aztec and Inca maintained order. In their societies. So this wasn't actually a past question, but it's similar. I'm not saying that this year will be this question, likely not, but we did just study this material, so I don't want you to focus on those details. I want you to focus on the structure of the essays. So the statement, the initial statement, the thesis statement, can be just something simple like, since we're talking about similarities and differences, it's a comparative. You can just say, many similarities and differences. And please spell these out. I'm just using some shorthand. You need to spell out similarities and differences. Exist between the Aztec and Inca in regards to, and this is where you get to address the question, in regards to what are the tasks of the question? We're talking about maintaining order, right? So we have Aztec, Inca, similarities, differences, maintaining order, in regards to maintaining order. The next part's really important. You need to include some examples, the actual similarity and the actual difference. You need one similarity, one difference. So the example, you could start with, for example, there were similarities, or you could say, for example, let's do both societies, since you already introduced which ones you're talking about, both societies or empires, right? Used or had religious sacrifices. And you could actually say, however, make this a little bit neater for you. However, the Aztec required, let's make it even better than the Aztec religion I guess we already have religious, right? Let's do required. This is just, me going through this process of double checking to make sure I'm counting all the bases, I'm covering all the bases. Aztec required human sacrifices. While the Inca used animals for sacrifice. Used animals for sacrifice. So there's a difference. You have religion sacrifices and maintaining order. However, the Aztec required human sacrifice while the Inca used animals for sacrifice. So that you have your similarity and your difference. Okay. The next part would be the similarities paragraph. Okay, and I'm just going to erase this here. The similarities paragraph does not have to be the same theme as the thesis. Okay, so you can say similarities between, and you're going to name the two societies again. You know, the Aztec and Inca include let's see, they had taxes, include taxation. I'm kind of going off the board here. Taxation. Keep that on there. Taxation, conquering neighboring people. What else? Agricultural base, agricultural economy. Just say agriculture, and gender parallelism. Gender parallelism. Okay, so the men and women did different jobs, but they were of equal status, right? So the next part's really important, and this is where people get a little bit thrown off. It's called the direct comparison. Now, really what you're doing is you made a laundry list here, right? So you're listing some facts, right? Fact, conquering, gender parallelism, because you want to have like 5 to 7 facts, right? That's part of one of the requirements on the rubric. But really, for the direct comparison, this is kind of an easy one, so we don't want to mess this one up. We'll say, like the Aztecs, okay, the Inca used forced labor. Forced labor. I kind of went off again. Sorry about that. Forced labor to complete government projects. Okay, so this is important to keep, to give the reasoning. Oh, sorry, the significance. What did they use forced? Why did they use forced labor? Well, to complete government projects. Okay, and that counts in some cases, depending on how you phrase it, as analysis. You could also, and that's it. There's your direct comparison. Okay, this could be it for this paragraph. It's not a great paragraph, but it has the parts. You're better off working a little bit more, doing a little bit more writing. Let me get this a little bit organized here for you. Sorry, doing a little bit more writing, just in case. I mean, sometimes you get nervous and you forget things. If you forget things, but you wrote it in there somewhere, you'll be good. It just needs to be together. A direct comparison is when you're actually going to say something specific about you know, one of the a specific example about the society. Okay, and don't forget the reason. Okay, why did they use forced labor? To complete government projects. There we go. The Inca had a major road system. If you want to go on and talk about that, to include that, to be safe, government projects like the Inca road system through the Andes. Go for it. It's just good essay writing. Let's see, paragraph 3 at this point would be the differences paragraph. So just like the similarities, keep it real simple. You can even start with the word differences. Differences, and write it all out. I'm just going to do it short for now. Differences between and name them again. So Aztec and Inca include, and then we're going to discuss as many differences as possible, just like we did before on for that like laundry list of differences, of similarities that we did before. But this time we're going to do with differences. So for the direct comparison here, so the direct comparison for this one, for the difference, you're going to want to start a little bit differently. You want to say, unlike the Aztec labor system, move that over. It's hard to keep this all on one frame here. Labor system, which was usually made up of the conquered peoples, the captured peoples. The Inca, or the Inca Mita, which is the name of the system. Mita, and say labor system if you want, again, that's fine. Labor system, just to be sure, was a labor tax, right? So the and you can explain what that means, right? This is significant. This might be important to bring in here because although this was a tax, right, the people are not necessarily being forced. It's coerced, but no more or less than paying our taxes these days, right? I don't want to pay my taxes, but I'm going to because I don't want to get in trouble. They're gonna participate in the Mita labor system. They might not want to, or maybe they do, right? But they enjoy the things that they get, the fruits of the labor, let's say. I enjoy the things that we have nice roads and law enforcement and schools and things like that because I pay taxes. So I'm going to pay them every year. You don't have to twist my arm to pay them. I don't like paying as much, but that's a whole other deal, right? Now for the Aztecs, it's different, right? The Aztecs, it's different. These people are forced against their will. They're captives from neighboring lands, and they're being forced to work the fields, to work projects, and perhaps even participate in rituals, and in many cases be sacrificed, right? So this was kind of a longer video, but this stuff's really important to get right, and these are just structural ideas about how to phrase your comparisons. Don't forget to have 5 to 7 pieces of evidence, and don't forget to do the actual direct comparison where you include the Aztec and Inca. Differences between the Aztec and include. Here's your list of evidence. Unlike the Aztec labor system, the Inca Mita labor system was a labor tax. Okay, so there's your direct comparison. That's a difference. Okay? Always end, last thing, always end by restating your thesis. So write a conclusion that summarizes, all the parts of the question, right, with specificity, but also rewrite your thesis. Word it a little bit differently. Because if you don't write it properly the first time, your thesis, but then you get in the habit of rewriting it at the end, you'll get the credit for the thesis statement at the end if it's the standalone thesis statement that they're looking for. And that's the same deal for the DBQ essay as well as the continuity and change over time essay. So good luck, and please write any comments or questions in the discussion below.